and today we have with us Francisco Franco, the Spanish dictator. He's here to tell us a little bit about his life and his ideas. Good evening, Mr. Franco. How are you doing this fine afternoon?
I'm good, thank you for inquiring.
Good. Let's start off with a few simple questions. What is your full name?
My name is Francisco Paulino Teodulo Franco.
Wow, that's quite a mouthful. As a child, where did you go to school?
I went to the Infantry Academy at Toledo at the age of 14.
Oh, I see. When do you feel you really got started in commanding in the war?
That would have to be when I became the youngest captain in the Spanish Army. I was very proud.
Oh, what happened in your family life?
I have a wife, Carmen Polo, who I love very much. We got married on the 22nd of October in 1923, and we had a daughter, Maria del Carmen. I care about my family very much.
Well, that's very nice. Well, tell me a little bit about how you came to, rule Spain.
Well, I rose in the military very quickly, but I was always loyal to my country. However, after a while, things got really bad, and the government wasn't very successful. Besides, it was highly likely that the current government would turn our country into a communist nation. No one wanted that. So a few of my fellow officers staged an uprising, but they failed. So they decided I was the best person to lead them. I couldn't argue with this reasoning, so I did. Once I got the post, I kept it and continued to expand my power.
I see. I heard that you were part of the Tercio de Extranjeros. Is that right? How did this affect you?
My time in the Tercio was very instructive. See, the thing is, the Tercio didn't have a very good reputation. However, we had a lot of power. Whether or not the people thought that we were very nice or kind, the government used us often, and every time we got the job done. This was very instructive for me, and it was an important lesson. I also learned a lot of strategies there, and that was the first time I really commanded as an officer, and I quickly gained a reputation.
I see. Well, you were known as a cruel and brutal leader. How do you feel about that?
Well, like I said about the Tercio, it's not really important whether or not the people see me as cruel, as long as I have control, and as long as I reach my goals. In this case, I was ruling the country. I did kill many of my political opponents, but it had to be done. If I wanted to gain complete control of the country, I couldn't have any political opponents. So, I guess I did kill them, and some people would call me cruel for that, but it had to be done.
Of course, I understand that, but I believe that title came from not only killing the prisoners, but from starving them and working them to death. Do you have anything to say about this?
Look, what you must understand is that I have a country to run, and it's not in a very good place economically due to the previous government. I just don't have the time or the resources to care for every single prisoner. Besides, I granted a lot of political pardons in 1944.
Seeing as how Europe saw you as being brutal, why do you think they still recognize your authority?
The main reason is that I already had control of Spain. To deny that would be pretty useless. But the other reason is because the only other party in Spain was the communist regime, and most of Europe dislikes communism. I was the only other choice, so I was accepted. Me and the United States were on good terms because of our mutual dislike for communism.
Oh, so I see. After the war, I know you had ties with the United States. What did these ties form off of?
Both of us, we disliked communism. And that was the basis for all of our ties. But our political ties didn't go past a friendly feeling of camaraderie. We did join the United Nations because of our ties with the United States, but that was it. I was more interested in governing my country.
It seems like the dislike of communism basically made you the leader that you were. Had the other party not been communism, how would this have changed your style of governing?
I'm not sure. If the government was stable and was technically successful, then maybe it wouldn't be necessary for me to have stepped up. However, even if it wasn't communism, it probably still would have been unstable and unreliable. You can't blame the communists for everything, for all of the government's problems. I probably would have still stepped up because I was simply the best person to lead.
Well, thank you for joining us today, Mr. Franco.
I'm glad to be here.